Mercedes, welcome. You know,
Thank you for having me.
I like to look at these themes in Black history in the context of just the broader market and what's important for the economy overall. And so when I think about education, I think about economic mobility, which has been so important for groups that started out with a disadvantage. To what degree is ed tech providing more of an engine for economic mobility in an economy that hasn't been delivering so much of it lately?
Thank you, John. And I completely agree. My interest in the edtech field stems from the fact that edtech and career mobility is one of the best opportunities for economic advancement. And what we're seeing at the early stages and late stages of the sector as a venture capital investor is that there's companies that are leveling the playing field at every step of the career journey. When we first think about the career journey, people are starting out with discovery. They need to figure out what jobs are even out there. And there's companies like Forage, a company we're an investor in, that lets candidates try out projects and work samples from companies like JP Morgan and General Electric and BCG or Lyft to try their hand at what a work sample would be like before they ever join the company. Handshake is another company that does something similar. They help students, 20 million of them, find opportunities of how they can get connected to employers. And that's just another element of the career journey that gets them on that initial path to having that economic advancement that we're talking about.
Here's a challenge that I see, though, in these models is it's unclear to me who is that real primary customer, right? Because you see some companies that are looking at the ambitious student, learner as the customer. You see more companies now that are turning to employers that want to provide education as a benefit in a tight labor market to entice the workforce, them as the customer. And some are even looking at universities themselves as the customers for technology platforms to help them to transform. But it's not clear to me which of those or some other is really going to be the deep-pocketed customer that's going to drive revenue and growth for EdTech overall.
You're completely right. And I think this has been a criticism of many EdTech companies over the years is that oftentimes if you're thinking of the end consumer as the buyer, they always don't have enough money, or that it's very episodic. They want to pay for one course and they don't come back. And so that doesn't create the most sustainable revenue stream that, makes for great valuations. I think what we have seen is some of companies using an employer paid model to really generate revenue while giving free services to students or candidates that want to learn. For example, Multiverse is a company that works with apprenticeship. They create apprenticeship programs for employers so that kids can go directly from high school into the jobs, sometimes bypassing their bachelor's degree. They work with employers like Citi and KPMG on job training and mentorship that's on the job versus doing it while you're, just learning. And so that makes it better for the employers to say, hey, we're paying for someone, but we're getting benefit out of this training at the same time.